I did forget something. I always forget something. Hi, welcome to episode 111 of the Cat Lady podcast. My name is Andrea, also known as the Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, C-A-T-T, craft all the things. It is April 15th, 2020. I'm recording to you from Michigan, and it is snowing. We had a touch of sun and some, warmth, and it was very lovely. And that was last week. And then the next day, it was almost like 70 degrees, and the next day it snowed. And it's not sticking, but it's now cold and kind of miserable. And yeah, so anyways, thank you for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, thanks for tuning in and checking me out. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much always for coming back and continuing to watch the craziness that is my podcast. I'm gonna change my camera just a little bit. Okay, sorry. Okay, anyway, so thank you for joining me. I am primarily a knitting, spinning, fibery related podcast, but do dabble in other crafts, and I do have some other crafts to show today, so you can check those out. You can find me all over the internet as the Cat Lady. I have a Facebook group, the Cat Lady. I think it's just called the Cat Lady. Instagram as the Cat Lady, and that's pretty much it. So please feel free to follow me everywhere, and I do post a lot on Instagram, a lot of that then forwards to Facebook, so I still haven't figured out a good balance of how to post different things on both, so I don't know. But I appreciate everyone who interacts with me, and I love the chat with everybody. So in podcast news, I have a make-along going on called the Whip Along, so works in progress. So pull out all your whips. The rules pretty much are, everything's on Ravelry. Oh, that's where else you can find me, is Ravelry. I probably won't post show notes, let's be honest. I haven't posted show notes the last few episodes, being that I'm home with the kids and don't have a lot of time. Podcasting takes a lot of time, so the fact that I even can make the time to record is a miracle. So, and then I have to get this uploaded and everything, so there will be no notes. But please, 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 please ask me any questions you want of anything I talk about. If you need a link to something, anything, please just ask. But the rules for the Whip Along are in Ravelry. Anything that was started before January 1st, 2020, so last year or later, or earlier, whatever. One post per finished object, or a frogged item. That was a little caveat, because sometimes, you pull out a whip and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. So if you frog it, give me a picture of your yarn spaghetti and post that. Knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving, sewing, paper crafting, kind of make along. So kind of anything. So, because there are lots of whips of all many shapes, sizes, and crafts, I'm sure. No chatter, just again message me with any questions. Must be a member of my Ravelry group to win, and it will run now until end of summer, I think is where I'm going to put it. So end of August, we'll cap it off. I have not touched any of my whips, so I am failing miserably at my own whip along. Prizes I have are a yarn from Happy Little Yarn, so a set of minis. Very pretty colors. A set of stitch markers from Neatsy's Porch. Very pretty. And a bag by me. So the choices are either this teal kitty cat pattern or the peach. I'm keeping everything in the bag so it's not getting lost like it has before. So that was the prizes. Now there is a new make-along going on. So in conjunction with Happy Little Yarn podcast and Needles at the Ready, we are making the stress-free make-along. So the rules, I just posted the threads in Ravelry, so the threads are already up. It starts today, so April 15th. Let's keep it simple and stress-free in this time of crazy. Slow it down and create something satisfying and uncomplicated. So the starts today. End date's kind of to be determined. It's kind of like, I don't know, we kind of decided to go with this whole everyone's stuck at home and stressed out. I am. So let's have a fun make-along that we can all participate in and make it just simple. So ideally, whips allowed. So if you have a whip that's been sitting since before January 1st, you could enter it in both. You can put it in my whip along if you finish it, and then you can put it in the stress-free make-along. So there you go. Prizes to be determined. I have more stitch markers from Neatsy's Porch I can give away. I have 2 bags that I just showed you, so one of those bags will be left, or I'm going to stash dive for another bag or make another bag. I don't know. A bag will be included, as well as some yarn, either yarn I dye or something I stash dive. I have lots of options, so there will be prizes. As always, usually if I have a lot of entries, I will try to get more prizes. And again, if you're a maker and want to donate a prize, I am always taking donations for prizes. It's a make along, so again, knit, crochet, paper craft, sewing, spinning, anything that's crafty for the most part. I know a lot of people are trying to get out of their funks and do new crafts. So yeah, if you have any questions or if you have a craft that I didn't list that you are interested in, let me know. Cross stitch. I'll even do like perler beads, because that's one of my things I like to do. So just let me know. And these rules are generally the same rules for the 3 podcasts, but specifically if you have questions for anything, like, be sure to verify or ask me and I will verify what you can post, because I encourage everyone to go join Needles at the Ready and Happy Little Yarn and post everything you finish 3 times because we'll all have separate prizes. Everyone's gonna have different prizes, so yeah. No material minimum or maximum, so even if you make the small thing, that's fine. There is a caveat I will discuss in a minute about batch things, so hold tight. Double, triple, quadruple dipping encouraged. Like I said, post it on all 3. If it's a whip before January 2020, post it in both my make-alongs. More the merrier. Must be a member of group to win, and that's across the board. So you don't have to be a member of all 3 groups to win just in mine. You have to be a member in my group to win my prize. You have to be a member of Amy's group to win her prize, etc. So please check out the other podcasts. Also, I will be showcasing a finished object on each podcast. So once I will draw, if there's like 5 entries before I record next, I will draw a random number, pick one, and then showcase it on the podcast. So you get to see your project showcased on the podcast. And in following with that, if you post on Instagram and you use the hashtag TCL stress free mal, so the cat lady TCL stress free MAL make along, I will share it to my Instagram stories. So just some fun ways to share what's going on and what everyone's working on. So the caveat about batch things. So right now a lot of people are making those little crochet ear savers in like huge quantities, and people are making masks, sewing masks in huge quantities, or crocheting masks, etc. I'm gonna make a limit on 1 post per day for batch items. So if you're making 50 masks, you get 1 post for that day of masks. If you make 50 ear savers to go with it, you get 1 post for those 50 ear savers per day. So then the next day you wake up, you make 20 more masks, you get a post that day, and so on. So you get 1 post per day for batch items. Because I mean, some people can make like 2 masks a day, and then they get a post for that. We're gonna keep it simple like that. So anything you're making in quantities, let's stick to 1 per day. I mean, in general, most people, just maybe stick to one post per day. Because even like with perler beads, if you make these tiny little keychain hearts or something that you can make 20 of them, let's stick with 1 post per day. But if you say make a keychain heart and then you make a keychain pokeball, okay, I mean, again, use your best judgment. Because if you make like 20 keychains in one day of all beads, maybe just stick to 1 post. I'm trying not to be stressful, obviously, but I'm trying to make it fair for everyone. Because then there's going to be people like me that I have plans of casting out a shawl. I'm not eligible to win, but, I'm thinking in terms of a entry. I would make a shawl that's going to take me maybe a month. So that's 1 entry, whereas then people are making 200 masks, that would be 200 posts, which I don't want to deal with that many posts, to be honest. They're all the same person, same thing, and and just trying to keep it a little more fair. So any questions, please ask. And again, if you have any questions for the other podcasters, you can ask them, or you can ask me and I will ask them, etc. We got you covered. So there, that was a big spiel, sorry. But I encourage everyone to join in. Anything you're working on, I'd love to see it. Please post it on Instagram, post it in the Ravelry group. I will share it on the podcast, and etc. So, on to the actual knitting and crochet. So, finished objects, very little. No knitting, but I was just talking about ear savers. I do have a finished ear saver, and I'm not, oh yeah, I do have that too. I'm not sure about it, to be honest. Do I have a ruler handy? Probably not. It's supposed to be 5 inches. It looks to be super secret Cricut thing here. Do I have, oh, here we go, look at that. I have my Cricut sitting here and it's got a tape measure, so let's see where we are. Okay, so it's a little short. It's 4 inches. Maybe, would the extra inch make a difference? Maybe. I don't know if it would or not. Oh, I'm doing things. Boy, sorry, excuse me. Saving that for later. So it's, the pattern said 5 inches. This is only 4, and of course because it's based on different yarn size, hook, gauge, whatever. So, but I don't know, would the extra inch really make the difference? It doesn't feel as much different than just wearing the elastic around your ears. Now, this is based on just wearing it for like a minute. So maybe long term, it just feels like even with the saver, the elastic is still kind of pulling and resting on your ear here. But maybe it still feels better than it pulling on your entire ear. So I only made the one. I mean, it just stretched a little. Let's see, it's not, I mean, it only stretches to like 4.5. But anyways, this is made out of Bernat Handicrafter cotton stash. And this took like 20 minutes to make, and that was for me not being a good crocheter. So I can imagine if you're good at crocheting and if you've made these already, you could whip out 10 of them in 20 minutes, maybe. Size H hook. So yeah, I might make more of those, but I may not, because I mean, I'm not leaving the house much, so I'm not wearing a mask much, so I'm probably fine for the half-hour tops I'd be wearing it. In addition, when I was pulling out my bag looking for my crochet projects, I forgot I was working on coasters. So these I probably already showed off at some point. I was working in them over Christmas. I mean, they're not 100% finished, but this one still had the hook in it, and I needed the hook. So did I make it the right size? Yeah, I did. So there's the Bernat Handicrafter and this little coaster thing. And I'm thinking, you know, there's still holes in there, so if you put a wet beverage on there, it's not necessarily going to be the best. So I need some sort of backing on it. So if anyone has ever made like a crochet coaster and has an idea of what would be a easy backing to put on here, I would love to hear. Something that's actually going to work as like a coaster. So thinking fabric wouldn't quite work because it's just going to get wet. So what would be a good backing and something simple to attach? But these would be cute to have around downstairs because I like them. This is Lily Sugar and Cream. What is it? Yeah, Sugar and Cream in the chocolate ombre color. I really like this one. It reminds me of like s'mores. I'm not sure what the blue one is. I've had this for a long time, so. So that is my ear saver. I'm not the best at crocheting. Here is my Space Cats bag. I love this bag. Love it. I just gotta have all my cotton hanging out in there. Alright, so I did work on my sock yarn blanket. What? It's been way too long since I've touched it. I had a knit and chat night on Zoom with some friends, and I was drinking some wine and thought I should work on an easy project, so here we go. This is, can't get much easier than sock yarn blanket. So I finished 4 squares since the last time I've showed this off. I was pretty happy with that. Actually, I did like 2.5 squares, but I don't think I ever showed off one because it wasn't posted on Instagram, so I'm assuming I didn't share it. So the last 4 squares that have been done are as follow. Thing's getting heavy. Oh my gosh. So, getting heavy to hold. This is definitely a really easy project to work on while you don't have to pay attention really. I mean, I have screwed it up, but even when you screw up, you're not pulling back that much, so it's not too bad. And that is in my giant, maybe I'm cursing the weather by still using my snowman bag. So, but it's the only bag that's huge to fit this blanket, so whatever. Alright, so that is all for finished objects for knitting crochet. So for whips, I started the Doodler by Stephen West. Last I showed, I was just starting the third section, which is the border, and I kind of lost my mojo. I did a little bit, and then I've totally just kind of lost it. So hopefully I can remember where I left off, honestly, because I didn't really mark it. I think I can, but... So now I'm on section 3, I can't really hold it up, and that is the wrong side. I'll show you the right side, but not much going on, just you can kind of see it's starting to, it's going to be like a wave, kind of a wavy chevron-y, not chevron really, it's really more like a wavy border. So you can see that there. There's supposed to be yarn overs in there, they're there. It's kind of, there we go, there's a good. So there's some yarn overs in there, and it's obviously all scrunched up on here, and it's working in short rows, so this side's going to be bigger than this side. The yarn, I'm being critical. I'm always critical of my own stuff. I almost feel like this pink doesn't quite match, and it isn't. It's not the same pink as what's in here. So but looking on the screen, it doesn't bother me. I actually kind of like it. So I don't know. I'm just being critical. Yarn is my own hand-dyed yarn. It is a 75-25 superwash merino and fingering weight in the colorway Midnight, which is or After Midnight, which is the dark blue, Moonberries, which is the speckle center, and Brightberry Sorbet, which is the border color. And these were my first kind of prototype hand-dyed, so I don't know if I can replicate them. I'm pretty sure I can replicate, well, I can replicate them. I'm confident I can replicate them, maybe. The project The Doodler by Stephen West. This is in size 4 needles, 3.5 millimeters. Also for my sock yarn blanket, I use size 2, US 2 needles, which is a 2.75 millimeter. But yeah, I didn't really, so I've got some done, obviously, since I last podcasted. I was right at the border, so that's the big side, at least. But I feel like I just kind of I did a few and then I just completely lost it. And honestly, I haven't really worked on much of anything. So I've been all over the place, which is typical. So I did work on my socks, though. Again, it's like one of these things. I did a chat with Amy from Happy Little Yarn, I believe, is when I worked on my socks. So these are my lava lamp socks. The yarn is a sock blank from Gail's Art in the lava lamp colorway. Last I recorded, I was about, markers over, I was about here. So yeah, I got a lot done. And I'm currently just starting the heel. So I just started the heel. So not too bad. However, the slogging part is the leg, because I knit a really long leg. So I still got a long way to go. And that is living in my handmade bag. My kind of gold paisley print. Again, one of my favorite bags as well. In there. Okay. Paisley, gold, silvery, metallic-y. It's pretty. Alright. And that is all for my whips. So yeah, definitely not a lot of whips. Spinning, however, I did get some spinning done. So last I showed you, I was working on the Recycled Yarn Company spin, which was a merino silk, and I finished that. So here is the finished merino silk. It is a 2-ply. It is got a nice reddish purple haze. So the yarn was, or the fiber was lightly blended blues and reds and whites. And so yeah, after it spun together, it became kind of a reddish purple. So I'll show that one more time. My stomach just completely grumbled. I don't know if that camera picked it up. Probably need to eat lunch after this. This was, yeah, I just spun it pretty, tried to spin it kind of thin. Oh no, I 3-plied this. Sorry, not a 2-ply, I 3-plied this. It looks kind of DK, I think. Maybe fingering DK, I don't know. I didn't wrap per inch it. I didn't measure the yardage, nothing. I just wrapped it up because I'm lazy. So, there's that. Oh, if you have not seen on Instagram, there is a thing going around. I forgot to show you my skein crown. I got a bun, so I can't put it on. But if anyone has been following, there's a little movement going around about skein crowns. I don't know, I just randomly thought about that. So I have a picture of me wearing that on Instagram. But you loop 2 skeins together, and then you put just elastic ties on the other end. I didn't want to take it apart yet, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I should take it apart. That was my hand-dyed yarn. Wow, that was a tangent of random tangent. Okay, so spinning, back to spinning. So that was my finished object for spinning, and then I'm working on a BFL silk from Fiber Optic Yarns. So this is 75 Blueface Leicester, 25% silk, 4 ounces, once in a lifetime. Got this from Rhinebeck. It was on clearance, so I couldn't pass it up, because usually I just get the gradients from Fiber Optic because I love the gradients. But this one was pretty and clearanced, so I still have a ton left. I'm spinning it really thin. Real pretty purples and blues. And I'm spinning it really thin in hopes of 3-plying it to get a fingering weight. So I'm trying to like plan how I'm spinning it. And I have something to show. I don't know where it went. Where is it? So I printed off a spinner control card from the interwebs and was going to show you what I'm trying to do, but I don't know where it went. Fiber Optic. I wonder if I have... So I'm spinning it at 40 wraps per inch. Let's see. Which on my control card I have by my... I'm like, let's see, does this have it? Oh, this does. Okay. So I'm aiming for about 40 wraps per inch, which is pretty thin. 40 to 44. So even thinner is what I'm aiming for. I might take this downstairs. Ooh. And the general consensus seems to be a 3-ply is then double. So after you 3-ply it, it'll become about 22 wraps per inch, which would be a fingering weight, roughly, according to the list I was looking at. That looks about right. So that's what I'm trying to do. So it's spinning really thin, which is good, but it's taking forever, which is bad, because I like things done quick. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. What did I do with that card? I'll find it later. So that is what I'm working on. So I don't have a lot done. Let me just tell you, the Woolly Winder is like a total game changer. Oh my gosh, it's just so nice to be able to just go and go and go and go and go and go and go, and you never have to stop. So, and the good thing about spinning, which after I spun the one and put the second one on, I haven't done much. I keep getting like completely burnt out, really. I just go through these like manic things of like, okay, knit on something, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. And then spin, 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 and then I'm done. So I don't know what's going on. Well, I do know what's going on. Everything is just falling apart. That's what's going on. So anyways, but the spinning I can just stop. Like I don't have to think. So even like, so now I'm like a little worried about restarting the doodler because I stopped somewhere and I have to figure out where I am. With the spinning, I can just spin, stop, spin, stop. And now it's like, I know where I left. There's no like, I don't have to remember where I left off. So as long as I remember what I'm spinning, I guess, like the size, but yeah. So it's been nice for stopping, especially in trying to get some spinning done with the kids in their school and whatever. So, so I'm going to 3-ply that one, try to make it a fingering weight. So Another random finish. Okay, so that's it for spinning. So now on to the other crafts. So I've done a few other crafts this last couple weeks. So the one was an Easter wreath. So this was from the Oriental Trading Company. It's just a styrofoam wreath, and they sent you the yarn and all the unrolled felt to make the flowers. So, and then the bunny. Actually, I just stuck it in there because I figure I can take him out now, and it's a spring wreath, even though the bunny still works. But it's a very springy, Eastery, but I don't have a lot of Easter decorations, so I just thought, why not? So that's just hanging on the door on the inside of the house. And then all these I've posted on. Where'd it go? Boy, I can't keep track of anything right now. All these I've posted on Instagram because usually I don't know what to share and what not to share and what to wait, but with 2 weeks apart, I might as well just share them. So, as I mentioned earlier, I like to do perler beads, and my son's been doing a lot of perler beads, and I actually ordered a bead sorter so that we can sort the beads by colors because it's a pain to have to sort all the beads while you're trying to do a project. And I think we're out of some colors that we really need to order just some certain colors. So we're going to sort the beads. It just came in the mail actually today. It's probably sitting on the porch still. And I'm looking forward to sorting. I don't know why, but I think it's going to be kind of fun. But I made this. It's huge. I didn't think it was going to, when I print out the pattern, I didn't realize it was going to be so huge until I actually counted up and I'm like, oh. So, baby Yoda. So he's cute. I don't know where to put, oh, he's going to go right here. Sorry, Jedi Force Temple, you're going to go there. So, there we go. He's going to go there. So that was that. It took a couple days, actually. I sat down like 2 or 3 different times to work on it, so. And then the last finished object I have to share is a sewing project, which was chaotic. So first of all, husband's at the dining room table, which is where I usually set up my sewing stuff. My sewing stuff's in the basement. But he's on the table, so I can't sew there. So he brought up a card table. We threw it in the corner and set up my sewing machine because he asked if I would make some masks. Wasn't gonna make masks. I happened to find some elastic that I had because, I hoard craft things. So I had elastic, I had pipe cleaners because that's how you can form it to the nose. And he said, well, maybe we should have some masks because, if we go out for walks and stuff, there's still a lot of people out, which is good. I'm glad people are out, but they're not always following the rules and with the kids, and we're trying to stay safe. So I made us some masks. It took all day to make 4 masks. My machine is acting up. It's not back stitching properly. It was chaotic, but I got us masks. So I made Jim. Everyone picked their own fabric. I had lots of fabric to choose from. So this was Jim's mask. Simple, manly, green. This was my mask. Of course, I had to go with Space Cats because I have a lot of it and it's too much fun. Emily went with a Mario themed fabric. And David went with fish fabric. So if you are a longtime follower, I made a fish bag. I think I made a fish bag that I was going to give away to somebody. And I made it upside down. So after I made the pouch, it was like a drawstring bag. And I think I folded the bag like in half. Like I took the fabric in one big piece and I folded it up to make this pouch. So half of the bag, I think. It's either all upside down or half the bag's upside down. So I gave it to David because he don't care. But he saw the fish, he's like, oh, make me a fish mask to match my fish bag. So he's got the fish mask. So I followed a pattern on an Instructable website. If anyone's interested in the link, well, hit me up, I'll let you know. So it fits really well. It's got a little pipe cleaner to conform to your nose. I mean, I don't feel like the elastic's that bad, but again, I'm not wearing it all day. I'm only going to wear it, if we go out and about a little bit. So, so this is about 3.5 inches. Jim's ended up to be like 4, which it was supposed to be 3.5, but ended up 4, which is fine because he's a little bit bigger. Emily's I made 3 inches. And while I did for hers is I cut out the exact same original pattern and then pleated it a little deeper to make it a little shorter. David's I cut 1 inch off the original pattern and made the pleats accordingly. His is 2.5 inches. I already put away my ruler as I measure, but I made the first one every time the camera, I look at the time and I see that it's going to change soon and I'd say I should stop it and I don't. So anyway, so I made Jim's first and then we all tried it on. So he tried it on, it looked good, and I tried it on, it was good. Then we put it on Emily and David and then kind of squinched it to see how much shorter it should be and went from there. But then again, for Emily's it was only a little shorter, so we determined just to squinch it up a little bit. So yeah, that worked out well. It just took forever because I was distracted like every 2 seconds by somebody or something, or machines malfunctioning, and I had to clean it out and whatever, but we got them done. We have our masks. Oh, and they do have pockets inside. So if I wanted to put some sort of filter in there, I've heard that non-woven polypropylene, kind of like these disposal or these reusable shopping bags. This is from the library. Not going to use that one. But I have one from the grocery store that I threw through the washing machine and it's hanging to dry that I could cut up and use it if we really need filters. I don't know if we need to go that far. I don't know yet, but I wanted the option for some sort of filter if we needed to. Because if I go into the grocery store or something, I would like a filter. If we're walking around the neighborhood, probably not. So I don't know. I don't know anything these days. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to handle this, honestly. So, but those are our masks. And that is it for the crafts. In other stuff, or when was I gonna talk about that? Okay, I'll talk about that later. So stash, I have a lot of yarn that is not dyed, or dyeable yarn, so bare yarn. I ordered a large order of dyeable yarn that I don't know what to do with right now. I kind of just ordered it. It was almost like a panic buy because I've been getting a lot of emails from suppliers saying, okay, we're still shipping, but we don't know how long and blah, 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 and all these things have been changing. So, I just ordered about 50 or so skeins of yarn. So that's it's a lot of yarn. But it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be there when I'm ready. I don't have time to go downstairs and spend a few hours to go through it and do stuff. So, but I ordered the bases that I shared last time. So I have a superwash BFL nylon, a superwash merino nylon, and then the superwash 17 micron merino 2-ply. So I have a bunch of each that I can play with when I'm ready. So I have it, and I'm glad I have it. So, but yeah, I haven't been able to do anything with it. I placed an order, like I had mentioned before. Also, I was going to place an order with Fiber Stash. So this is Fiber Stash Dye Works, and this is the Dark Side of the Mood. And she also put these cute little stitch markers on there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that one. That way. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it just has her logo on it. It looks like I think they're probably from Contrinkles. So I got 2 of those, but this is Dark Side of the Mood and this is Hayride. And yeah, she was very, very helpful in putting these together for me because I wanted to order from her. So I thought, okay, if I'm going to order something, I want to have a project. So I found a shawl that I liked, which I will show you momentarily, a shawl pattern. And I said, okay, I think 2 skeins of worsted is what it is. It's like a shawlette. And I wanted something worsted because I got a lot of fingering and I just wanted to branch out a little bit. So I emailed her and said, hey, and I picked this color because I like this color. And I said, I want something to go with that, but I want to kind of step out of my comfort zone and go for something a little fun. And I showed her the pattern that I was thinking of, and she sent me like a bunch of options, like too many options. But this one stuck out as the most different, fun, and that I would never in my wildest dreams pair together, but it looks nice. So I love that there's the pops of that green almost in here. So I think these will be really cool. So I'm excited to skein these up and start that. So now I have tons of patterns to show. So a lot of these were offered free for a limited time. But first I'll show you the shawl that I bought. I bought this pattern. So this is the Jimmy Shawlette by D. O'Keefe. And yeah, it uses 2 skeins of worsted. So I'm going to use the teal for the main color, so the gray, and then the orange for the lacy bottom section. So that'll be, oh, never mind. I'm going to use the teal. Okay, so it stripes the whole thing stripes. I'm going to stripe it, and then the teal will be like the solid before the orange, that will be the lace. Boy, I totally described that wrong as I'm showing you the picture. So it's going to stripe with both colors, and then the lace section will be the orange. Okay, so that was that. And then I got the habitation throw, which a lot of people were doing this with the Christmas minis. Oh, and it is still free for the month of April. Oh, good to know. So please visit this website, or visit this page here, Habitation Throw by Helen Stewart. It used like 24 minis, I think, is what a lot of people were doing for Christmas. And it's just a throw, but it's free until the end of April. So a lot of people were doing it over Christmas, and I thought, oh, that's so cool. I love this project. It's kind of just like a lap blanket. Here's a bigger picture. And it's worked, I think, from corner to corner. And as I was thinking about this, so I have to look into it a little bit more, but I have 2 bags of odds and ends. I don't know if these are big enough, to be honest, and they're a little thick. But I have 2 bags of all these like little minis from the Into the World odds and ends, and I have a 3rd bag that needs to be spun. Maybe I could use those? I don't know. Like if I make the needle size a little bigger and the rows would be a little shorter. I don't know. I have to read into this and see. It says very flexible size, Advent mini sets, fingering weights. Most probably aren't fingering weight. But if I used a larger needle, I don't know. Like and maybe weight them out, and you make sure I use the heavier ones for when the rows get bigger. So I'm going to look into that, because that would be a really perfect project to use those, because I'd love to use those. And then I could start spinning the 3rd batch, and then, I don't know, have a really cool lap blanket with all hand spun. Okay, so I was excited about that one. Another pattern I got, was free, was Night Crust by Northbound Knitting, Lisa Much. This looked cool. What is this? This is fingering weight, but yeah, this one's a cool one. I love her pattern. She's got some cool patterns. So I think she had this free for her birthday. This takes 1, 2, 3, 5 colors. Are there 5 colors in there? Holy moly. Okay, well I ain't doing that anytime soon probably, but 800 yards, 5 colors. I mean, really doesn't, it only takes almost one full skein, color A, almost 300 yards, and then 100 yards of like 100 to 150 yards of 4 other colors. So that might be a good project to use up some of my leftover stuff, so I don't know. I have to investigate that as well. And then I have a ton of patterns from Luke Gilligan, who is my tech editor. I'm going to call him my tech editor, even though he said only tech edited one thing for me, but he did a good job. But he offered a bunch of his patterns for free, so I downloaded a bunch of hats. So I will show you just a couple of them. And there's Luke modeling his hat at the bottom there. So that's kind of a basic ribbed hat. I like hats. This one's super bulky. I like super bulky hats too. Where's another one that's cool? This one looks fun. So this one's like has it got brioche in it? Yeah, that looks like brioche, which I would love to do more of. So this was a cool brioche hat. And then, let's see, one more. This one's cool. Called Understory. So they got a cool cable, and then like this little, almost like little heart detail on the edge. That one's cool. He also goes by Wool Enthusiast. You can follow him on Instagram. Wool Enthusiast Designs is what his shop name is. So yeah, so I got a bunch of, how many did I get? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hats from him. He likes to do hats, so he had a lot of hats for free. So I snagged those. Oh, and I did forget something. I have to share. My kids and my husband got me a Duffy. So if you are unaware, Duffy is the Disney bear, and if you've followed me for a long time, you've probably seen me talk about the kids' Duffy bears. They each have their own Duffy bear, and they are very well loved. This Duffy is nice and fluffy and very loved, but not as physically loved, and I'm going to try to keep him nice and fluffy because he is so cute and so fluffy. But they got me him to cheer me up. And he's the sweetest looking bear, and if you notice, he's got Mickey, the Mickey symbol across his face. He's got a little Mickey print on his bum, and then he's got the little Mickeys on his feet. So he is very popular in Japan. So in like Disneyland, or Disney Sea, Tokyo Disney Sea, I think. He is very, very popular, and he's got lots of buddies, and he's got Shelly Mae, who's the girl bear, which my kids both have a Shelly Mae as well. So they're like, oh, do you want a Shelly Mae too? I'm like, nah, Duffy's fine. He is not as popular in the United States anymore, which is sad. He used to have a meet and greet in Epcot, and he doesn't anymore, and it's kind of a bummer because I would have loved to have my kids meet him at Epcot. So maybe one day we'll go to Japan and go to Disney Sea and be able to see all the Duffys. So, but a lot of people like carry him around. They have like photo spots for Duffy. It's like super cute. So, but that is my Duffy bear. So, life in review. So, I signed up for a virtual 5K, which is supposed to take place like pretty much now. Let's see. So it's called the Happy Little Trees. Run for the Trees Happy Little 5K. Let's see, and it was supposed to start April 17th through 26th, so 10 days, including Earth Day and Arbor Day. So this weekend is when you're supposed to like do your run, and it's a virtual 5K, so you're supposed to just pick a day and run a 5K wherever you want. Obviously, this is a little trickier now. I mean, sure, I could go out and go for a run, but it's now snowing outside, and I'm really stressed out, and it's hard to leave the house. So I don't know how that's going to happen. But it was raising money. So what does it say? The Happy Little Trees program helps restore Michigan ecosystems by growing and planting native trees, shrubs, grasses, and plants in Michigan state parks. So all raise proceeds will help bring more Happy Little Trees to Michigan state parks. As part of the program, 1,200 plus trees already have been planted in state parks, and is estimated that this year's Run for the Trees will add more than 1,000 new ones. So really I just made a donation to the Department of Natural Resources in Michigan, but I got this cool racing bib. And I got a shirt. And I got a medal. There's nothing wrong with having a tree as a friend, Bob Ross. So, I will do this. I may not do this between the 17th and the 26th. We will see how my mental state is and how the weather is and if I feel like going out and running. Because right now, it's a task just to get clothes on. So, but that was fun. It was a cool idea. I know a few other people that signed up for it, so we'll be interested to see if they get their run in as well. I'm sure they will, because, I don't know, I feel like I'm a failure at things, so whatever. I don't mean that, but sometimes it feels that way. But I meant to share that last podcast because it came in the mail, but I forgot. So I will do the 5K at some point, but it may not be until like the summertime, so I don't know. But I will be sure to do it and post it when I do it. And I actually even did get an email saying, you know, try your best to get out and do it. But we understand that, you know, maybe stay home, because some people, you know, they had these events planned where you could go and run with other people, and yeah, obviously all that's not happening. So nope. Life consists of coffee, pajamas, wine, and chocolate. I'm obsessing over how to get my groceries. I don't want to go into the store. We managed to score a pickup slot for last Tuesday. So not this Tuesday, but the previous Tuesday, I believe, at Kroger. And I went and picked it up, and no one was wearing masks or gloves, and it was kind of scary. I mean, I don't know where these people have been, and they're in a grocery store with lots of other people, but I don't know where they've been. Trying not to be super paranoid, but yeah. So it has now been mandated through the state of Michigan that essential workers need to be wearing masks and gloves, but it doesn't go into effect until like the 20th or the 26th or something. But we just scored another pickup date for Kroger on next Tuesday. So I've been adding things to my cart. I've been taking things out of my cart. I've been obsessing over, am I ordering too much stuff? Am I not ordering enough stuff? So that is my life, obsessing over groceries. We are getting low on paper towel. Obviously that is not an end-all be-all thing. We still have an okay amount of toilet paper, but that will need to be ordered at some point too, and you can't order it. You have to like go in and pick it up, and I don't want to go in anywhere and pick it up. So I am mad about cooking. I'm tired of cooking. I don't want to cook anymore. I just want to go out to eat. I want to order pizza. I want to order carry out, but we are not. We might change our minds and we might get a pizza. We've talked about it, but we're just trying to be safe. And I know a lot of people are getting carry out and a lot of people are fine, but we're just trying to be safe. And I feel bad because all these businesses are losing business and they need our money, and I want to spend my money on food, but so I don't know. We're still on the fence. We might order a pizza and toss it in the oven. So I'm definitely not ordering anything cold. So it's like, it'd be fun to get like Jimmy John sandwiches or something, or sushi or something amazing, but you can't really put it in the oven to heat it up. And again, it's probably fine, but what if it's not? So this is my brain. We had a nice Easter. I made everyone dress up and take a picture. So if you follow me on Instagram, I posted that. I made an amazing dinner. It was really good. We had pot roast, we had mashed potatoes, which is one of my favorite foods ever is mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes, tacos, and pizza. Pretty much live off that. Starting to lose my voice a little bit. So I made a roast and mashed potatoes and some glazed carrots and a loaf of homemade bread, and so it was really good. And then stuffed myself, had some wine, and it was good. It was good. I mean, we had a rough day. I'm not gonna lie, it was rough. The kids were, of course, oh, can I eat all the candy, blah, 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 and, mom's like, no, and dad's like, why not, and we started off a little rough, we ended the day a little rough, but it is what it is. I have a nice picture of us as a family, all dressed up, so I like that. Because usually we go out to my in-laws and we all dress up, and I'm talking dress up a little more than usually I would. Well, the kids would be wearing what they were wearing, and I would have a nicer dress on. So I just had a little sweater dress, which was fine. But if we were going to my in-laws, I would have put a little bit nicer of a dress on. Jim probably would have had a button-down shirt and stuff. So I don't know. We always make it a real special holiday with his family. So I said, okay, we're at least getting dressed and gonna have a nice meal, and and we just lounged around pretty much the day. But I made a ton of mashed potatoes because I had like a 10-pound bag of potatoes that was starting to go bad. So I made tons of mashed potatoes, which is again my favorite. So I had tons of mashed potatoes, and then the next day I had mashed potatoes, and then yesterday I made shepherd's pie with a bunch of mashed potatoes, and I still have about a serving or so of mashed potatoes left and shepherd's pie left. So I'm having leftover shepherd's pie for dinner, and probably mashed potatoes for dinner tomorrow. So there's that. That's it. Homeschooling is hard. Homeschooling is not fun. Homeschooling is the worst when you don't want to homeschool. When you have kids that don't want to homeschool, it is bad. So yesterday was really bad, really, really bad. Today we took a day off because I figured I needed to go to the vet. My cat is not gaining weight. He is losing weight. He is not doing well. He's fine. He seems fine, but he is not where he should be with his weight. He's on a steroid. They said up it to 2. And I did that kind of a little bit, but then I was starting to run low, so I ordered more steroids and went and picked those up today. They literally taped them to the door. I didn't have to go in or nothing. So got him more medication, so I figured, okay, I'm taking the day off. I'm going to go get the medication. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to record a podcast. So, because usually I record on Tuesdays, but I did not get to it. So here I am. But I made it. We made it another day. We took a day off. We'll get back to it tomorrow. I don't know how this is gonna work. We're supposed to do this through June. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how this is gonna happen. So send me all your positive vibes, and I will talk to you soon. Don't forget the make along. So enter in all your fun makes. That'll cheer me up if I see what everyone else is working on. So get those in, and again, go check out Happy Little Yarn and Needles at the Ready as well. And no, I did not watch any new podcasts. I did watch Needles at the Ready because I wanted to make sure we were on the same page with rules for the make along. So I watched them because they announced theirs last podcast. I've not watched anything else. I'm not caught up in any of my favorites, so it is kind of a bummer. But I'll have lots to catch up on this summer when I don't know when I'm getting time back to myself. Never. I don't know if I'm ever getting time back to myself. So, alright, I will stop rambling. I love you all. Please go out there and craft all the things safely. Stay home and craft all the things.